What I didn't know is that you were going to get so sexy.
I can hear you.
Is he your escort tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh,
this is my dad. Look.
Brooke, I've always liked her. And I mean, when I was little, I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brothers, we stayed with her for years. And I never said this, I always had a crush on her.
Michael, all I can say is I love you too.
Diana Ross, I'm crazy about you.
I'll be there.
One of my favorite people in the whole entire world is Diana Ross.
My mother, my lover, and my sister? Y'all, who describes a family friend like that? For decades, the media told us Michael Jackson and Diana Ross were just friends. Mentors. Maybe a little mother-son dynamic. Yeah, right. That is the biggest lie in pop culture history. We aren't talking about an innocent little crush, guys. We are talking about a full-blown, tragic, lifelong obsession. We're talking about a man who built a secret shrine in his house dedicated to her, with candles burning 24/7 just to keep her spirit close. We're talking about a love so deep that when the king of pop died, he didn't just leave his legacy to his family. In his final, last will and testament, Michael Jackson named Diana Ross, not his siblings, as the guardian of his children. That is the ultimate receipt. Even Diana admitted it after MJ passed, calling him a personal love of mine.
I refuse you to insult Michael. He's a friend of mine. I love him.
So, did they really sleep together? Did she break his heart and inspire Dirty Diana? And why did Katherine Jackson supposedly call Diana a cradle robber? Grab your popcorn, guys. We are unlocking the vault on the greatest love story that never quite happened. You do not want to miss this.
The Crush and the Muse.
Let's rewind the tape to 1969, the year of the moon landing, and the year a little dynamo named Michael Jackson landed on planet Diana Ross. Now, here is where the Motown PR machine worked its magic. They told the world Diana discovered the Jackson 5 to boost her solo career. That was pure marketing cap. But what wasn't fake? The instant, magnetic connection between an 11-year-old Michael and a 25-year-old Diana. Michael was officially in love, like down bad. But here is the juicy insider info that most casual fans forget. When the Jackson family moved from gritty Gary, Indiana to glitzy Los Angeles, they didn't just stay in a hotel. Michael and his brothers actually moved into Diana Ross's Hollywood Hills mansion. Yes, you heard that right.
When I was little, I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brothers, we stayed with her for years.
For over a year, Diana became his surrogate mother. She was cooking for him, cleaning up after him, and shaping him. Michael started calling her Mama. Cute, right? But then he started calling her his girlfriend. Talk about mixed signals. The obsession was so real that Michael used to roast his own sisters. He would literally look at LaToya and Janet and say, "You're not pretty until you start looking like Diana." Ouch. Sorry, Janet. But to Michael, Diana was the blueprint, the gold standard of beauty. During those years living in the hills, Diana wasn't just babysitting. She was holding class. She took him to art museums, bought him his first easel, and taught him how to walk, talk, and dazzle a crowd. He saw himself in her. She was the mirror. She gave him the childhood wonder he missed out on, but she also planted a seed of romantic longing that would grow into a giant, thorny rosebush. Michael was a sponge, soaking up every bit of her essence. But as little Michael started hitting puberty, that innocent mama vibe, yeah, it was about to get a whole lot more complicated. Because soon, the little boy would grow up, and when they reunited on the set of The Wiz, the lines between mentor and lover didn't just blur, they completely vanished. And the rumors? Oh, they were about to get nasty. The open secret. The Wiz and the fling. Fast forward to 1977. Michael is 19, Diana is 33. The innocent mama days? gone. When Michael was offered the role of the Scarecrow in The Wiz, he didn't take it just for the script. He took it for the girl. He later admitted that being near Diana gave him further incentive to take the job because he was simply in love with her. And New York City in the late 70s, that was their playground. While filming, these two were hitting up Studio 54, partying until the sun came up, and purportedly showing up late to the movie set the next morning, giggling like school kids. But here is the rumor that has been an open secret in Hollywood circles for decades. A biographer reported that one night, Diana Ross allegedly stayed the night at Michael's apartment. When an assistant tracked them down the next day and asked what went down, Michael smirked and said, "Ask her that." And when they asked Diana, she shot back, "Ask Michael." That is not a denial, people. That is a deflection. But here is the smoking gun, the receipt of all receipts. During this Wiz era, rumors about Michael's sexuality were already swirling, but Diana Ross shut that down with her girlfriends. She was overheard telling them, quote, "Well, I'll tell you one thing, Michael definitely isn't gay." Now, how would she know that unless she had first-hand experience? I'm just saying. By the early 80s, they weren't even hiding it. They were showing up to the Oscars and the AMAs basically as a couple.
How you doing, Diana?
Fine, terrific.
Michael, this is your escort tonight, huh?
I can't hear you.
Is he your escort tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh,
This is my dad. Look.
Look at the body language. She's calling him sexy on national TV. He's blushing but loving it.
I knew that you were going to be a giant star. I really did.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but I didn't know. What I didn't know is that you were going to get so sexy.
They were in a full-blown situationship before that word even existed. But Michael didn't want a situationship. He wanted a ring, and he was about to make a move that would cause a family war. The proposal and the shrine. By the early 80s, Michael wasn't just infatuated. He was ready to put a ring on it. He didn't care about the 14-year age gap. He didn't care that she was technically his mentor. He told the world in Ebony magazine, clear as day, that he wanted to marry her. And according to insiders, he didn't just say it, he did it. Rumor has it, Michael proposed, not once, but twice. And briefly, she actually said yes. Diana was reportedly seen wearing his ring. But there was one massive obstacle standing in the way of this royal wedding of pop. And her name was Katherine Jackson, Michael's mom. Mama Katherine was not having it. She was reportedly furious. Insiders claim she personally called Diana Ross and told her to back off, telling her she was too old for Michael. It got so messy that Katherine allegedly leaked stories to the press, leading reporters to brand Diana a cradle robber. Oh boy, can you imagine? The pressure was too much. Diana, terrified of the bad press and the family drama, gave the ring back. But when Diana pulled away, Michael didn't move on. He spiraled into a deep, mystical obsession. In 1986, a Pepsi executive visited Michael's home and stumbled upon something that looked straight out of a movie. Michael had a secret room next to his bedroom, a room that no one was supposed to see. They called it the Diana Ross Shrine. It was a room with a convex ceiling, plastered floor to ceiling with hundreds of photos of Diana. And in the center, candles, burning 24/7, day and night. Why the candles? Well, the rumor is that Michael had consulted an Obeah man, a spiritualist, who told him that as long as he kept candles burning around her face, she could never truly leave him. He was literally trying to conjure her love. He told friends he was honoring her, but let's be real, this was a man desperately trying to hold on to a woman who was already slipping through his fingers. But all the candles in the world couldn't stop what was coming next. Michael was praying for a wedding, but he was about to get an invitation to one, just not his own. The Great Heartbreak, Marriage and Revenge. 1986, the year the dream officially died. While Michael was praying to candles in his shrine, Diana Ross made a move that shattered him into a million pieces. She married Arnez Jr., a Norwegian shipping billionaire. And let me tell ya, Michael didn't take this well. He didn't send a toaster, he didn't send a card, he sent a message by his absence. Michael was supposed to be at that wedding, but he canceled. He couldn't watch the love of his life say I do to another man. He later admitted to reporters with heartbreaking honesty, I was jealous because I've always loved Diana Ross and always will.
I've always liked her, and I never said this, I always had a crush on her.
But sadness quickly turned into rage, and Michael, he channeled that rage into the studio. Enter 1987, the Bad album, and the track, Dirty Diana. Now, for decades, Michael told the press, oh, that song is about groupies. It's about a collective of girls.
I wrote a song called Dirty Diana. And it's not about Lady Diana, it's about certain kind of girls that hang around concerts or clubs. You know, they call them groupies. The groupies.
Please, wake up. The song is literally named Diana. He wasn't being subtle. This was a diss track. This was revenge. Insiders confirm that the original lyrics were savage. Michael was so hurt that he originally wrote verses designed to make Diana look like a loose woman, basically calling her a high-class groupie. It was so venomous that the legendary producer Quincy Jones had to step in. He practically begged Michael to tone it down, telling him, you can't do her like that, man.
There's no turning back. She's running.
Michael changed just enough lyrics to sell the groupie story to the public, but the venom remained. He was painting her as a seductress who uses men and leaves them. It was a public tantrum by a heartbroken genius. But here is where it gets crazy. Diana knew. You come for the queen, you best not miss. Diana was initially furious. In the Motown world, being called a groupie was the ultimate insult. But instead of crying about it, she flipped the script. She started using Dirty Diana as the intro music for her own concerts. That is a boss move. She was basically walking out on stage saying, yeah, I'm the woman who broke Michael Jackson's heart. Deal with it. They were playing a dangerous game of public cat and mouse. He attacked her in song, she owned it on stage. But underneath the leather jackets and the diamond gowns, the bond wasn't broken. It was just changing shape. And Michael wasn't done writing songs about her just yet.
The Untold Story, The Lasting Bond. By the 90s, the rage of Dirty Diana had faded, replaced by a deep, aching nostalgia. In 1992, Michael dropped Remember the Time. Now, officially, the song was dedicated to nobody specific. But come on, we know better. The lyrics are literally about a secret love from the past that he can't let go of. And we don't just have to guess. His own brother confirmed it. Jermaine Jackson let it slip. He said Michael told him privately that the song was written entirely about Diana Ross. Jermaine called her, quote, the one great love that, as far as he was concerned, escaped him.
He spent time with Diana Ross with The Wiz. He always had this admiration for Diana Ross when he was young. And I think it got to a point where he really loved her and he really liked her, still to this day. And she was just this dream for him. And he had this ongoing, just a fascination for her. He loved her.
That hits hard, right? Michael was the most famous man on earth. He could have anyone, but he was still singing love letters to the one woman he couldn't keep. But the chemistry? Oh, it never died. Check out the 1996 World Music Awards. This is the clip that lives rent-free in every fan's head. Diana is singing Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And where does she go? Straight to Michael. She sits right on his lap in front of the entire world. Look at his face. That is not the face of a friend. That is the face of a man who is still hopelessly mesmerized.
One observer at the show said Michael looked like a man who was starving, and she was the only meal on the menu. And let me tell you, Diana knew she had that power. She was possessive. Whenever Michael tried to move on with publicity dates like Brooke Shields or Madonna, Diana would swoop in. There are stories of her physically inserting herself between Michael and Elizabeth Taylor at events, grabbing his arm like, "Excuse me, he's mine." Michael told friends he felt like she didn't want to marry him, but she sure as hell didn't want anyone else to have him either. But the ultimate proof of their bond, the story that really proves she was his endgame, happened in a hospital room in 1995. Michael had collapsed during rehearsals. At the time, he was married to Lisa Marie Presley, his wife. Insiders say that when Diana arrived, Michael reportedly had Lisa Marie, his actual wife, literally thrown out of the room to make space for Diana. He cleared the deck. He later told friends that Diana was his world.
Diana Ross, I'm crazy about you.
Sorry, Lisa Marie. You might have had the ring, but Diana had the heart. In the end, Michael didn't leave his final love letter in a song. He left it in a legal document. When the contents of Michael's will were revealed in 2009, the world gasped. He didn't name his sister Janet. He didn't name his brothers. He named Diana Ross. Michael stipulated that if his mother, Catherine, couldn't take care of his children, he wanted Diana to raise them. Think about that. This wasn't just a crush. This was the ultimate mic drop. He was entrusting her with his own flesh and blood. It was his final way of saying, "You are the mother I always wanted, and you are the mother my children deserve." Diana didn't attend the public memorial. She was too devastated to grieve in front of cameras. But she sent a statement that finally confirmed the open secret we've been tracking here for 16 minutes now. She didn't call him a friend. She wrote, "Michael was a personal love of mine, a treasured part of my world." Personal love. That is not PR speak, guys. That is a confession. And she has never stopped protecting him. Even in 2019, when the world turned against Michael again, Diana stepped up. She tweeted a furious defense, telling the critics to back off, and literally quoting her own hit song, telling them to stop in the name of love. She is still his ride or die, even beyond the grave.
I refuse you to insult Michael. He's a friend of mine. I love him, and I don't like people making fun of him.
Their love story was messy. It was one-sided. It was obsessive. And it was tragic. But it was real. Michael spent his life chasing a fantasy that lived in the body of Diana Ross. He couldn't marry her, so he enshrined her in his music, his home, and his legacy. But now I pass the mic to you. Was this a beautiful case of twin flames who met at the wrong time? Or was Michael trapped in a childhood fantasy that he never grew out of? I want to see you engaging in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more tragic love stories. Michael, we love you. Rest in peace. Guys, it was your girl, Cherry. Bye for now.